So Steph, the news is out now. You've decided to call time on your playing career. I suppose the first question is, how are you feeling?
Yeah, a bit emotional, to be honest. I think you obviously, for the last couple of years, I've been thinking, it has been in the back of my mind a little bit, and I just felt like it was the right time now to kind of have that weight off my shoulders and to kind of enjoy the last couple of months being here at City and doing as much as I can to help the team win as many games as we can towards the end of the season. But it's not like a decision that I've taken easy. I think it's obviously something that I've been a part of for 30 years of my life. This is all I've known is football, and I've been grateful enough to be here and another few amazing clubs that have helped me along the way, and I've had so many great memories. But I think they always say you like know when you know, and I think that was that moment where I was like, right, okay, I think for me personally and for my family, it was just to kind of get out there and then enjoy the last few months. Absolutely.
And we can tell by the way you're talking, it's not an easy decision, so I imagine something that you've as you've said, you've really had to consider.
No, because I actually really enjoy, I love the game, and that's all I've known since the age of 4 or 5 is kicking a ball about. And if you know who I am as a person, like my whole life's revolved around football, and especially being here in Manchester, I met my husband here, and yeah, I think I've given absolutely everything that I can. But I think from a mental point of view for me, I think I am looking forward to a new challenge. And yeah, I'm a little bit tired now. It's been a heavy few years here, and obviously international football as well. So I just feel as though I've had a lot of discussion with my family, my agent, my friends, and I think the day I thought I just needed to come out and say it, and I just feel like now is the right time.
And why do you feel like now is sort of the right time, without obviously going into as much detail as you want to?
No, I think obviously I'm able to contribute every day in training. I feel as though I'm still at that level that I need to be at. But I think when you've been under this much pressure for a long time, for the career that I've had since probably making my debut in England from 17 years old, and training every single day and not having much time off and competing in tournaments every single year, and especially the last 2 years, I think mentally that has been really rough in terms of not just for me but my family as well. And I've given absolutely everything, and I'm proud of that for doing that. But I feel as though now I'm ready to learn something new, whatever that might be. And I'm grateful of the journey that I've been on, but at the same time, I think my body's fine. But I think for me, I think there's other things that I want to be doing, and I want to spend more time with my family as well.
Absolutely. You've already been working, obviously, on your coaching badges and a really successful media career so far. So I assume there's things that you may well potentially look into doing more in the future.
Yeah, I'm really grateful that I've got a lot of options, and I'm not specifically saying that I'm definitely going to coach or I'm definitely going to go into media. If I can kind of combine a lot of them, that would be probably the ideal scenario. But I didn't want to try and look too far ahead in the moment, because I think it's important that when you're in football and the season that we're having, I think it's important to be focused. But it'd be nice to have a little bit of a rest, go on some family holidays, and not be tied down too much to football. But then I know what I'm like. I'll be dying to get back into it as soon as possible.
Probably be playing football on holiday.
Yeah, probably, yeah, with my nephews, yeah.
How important will it be for you to be able to spend that time with your family even more now after your career?
Yeah, because I think everybody that is involved in football, never mind if you're a player or you're a staff member, you sacrifice so much being away from your family. And I mean, I've missed a lot of things in my career, and I'm grateful that they've sacrificed a lot to support me in my career. So I think it's time for me to give something back and give some of my time back to them, and spend time with Stephen and with my nephews, see my brother a little bit more, and my mum and dad. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
We'll obviously get on to some of the things you've achieved at City shortly, but you've had such an incredible legacy at this club. Have you been able to kind of look back at the team and how it's developed over the 10 years you've been here?
I think because obviously the 10 years has been up this year, I think in my head I was like, get to 10 years, Steph, make sure you're part of the team for then. And it's absolutely flown by, to be honest. And to see where we began and where we are now, that's not just down to me and some of the other players, that's down to a lot of people that have allowed us to grow as a club, to compete. And I mean, looking at some of them photos there, I'm thinking about what games we've played in and them successful moments, and to be there from the start and to see how we've developed. And for me, the good thing is that we can go even bigger and we can go even better, and hopefully I can be a bit a part of that evolution over the next few years. But I'm proud of where we started and now the place where I'm leaving it in, yeah.
And rightly so. I know you obviously don't like talking too much about yourself and what you've achieved.
No.
So I'll do it for you.
Yeah, okay, then go on.
Just some of the stuff I've written down. 241 appearances for the club, the most of any women's player. 8 major trophies. 176 WSL appearances over everything. 2 WSL Team of the Years. First to 150 WSL appearances in the league, not just at City. First to 100 wins. City's first Centurion and double Centurion. And an MBE, just to add into all of that. I mean, it is just a phenomenal achievement and something I imagine you might be able to look back on with a bit more pride now it's sort of coming to an end.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even some of that stuff I've probably even forgotten about, if I'm being honest, because I'm being so forward thinking and always trying to hit the next target or contribute in some way. But yeah, I'm proud of all them achievements. That's not just down to me. I know how much I give as a person, but I think it is a lot down to my family and the people I've had around us and them achievements here at City as well. That's not just because of me leading the way. There's been so many people that I've been fortunate enough to spend all that time with and has drove me to not just be a better player but a better person. And that's what I love about the club is I think every single day you either meet someone new or you see someone and like I don't look at them as whatever job they do. I look at them as a person, and if that's the biggest takeaway from this club is that we love people that have a good personality who can bring something and better each other, and that's certainly been the case over the last few years. Is that I've not just been developing as a player but also as a person as well.
Yeah, how do you feel City has been able to shape you and as you've said on and off the pitch and other people as well that you've been alongside?
God, massively. I think I've been fortunate to be at the likes of Sunderland, Leeds, Arsenal, but without a doubt this has been the biggest influence on my career in terms of not only from playing. I mean, I came here as a centre-half and I hadn't really had that much experience, but working with Nick and other coaches, I think they've developed my game a lot in terms of they knew what my attributes were, but they knew what my weaknesses was, and we developed in that sense. From a leadership point of view, I think that takes a lot of hard work and a lot of sacrifice to kind of keep developing. You're always constantly meeting new players or bringing the team together, not just through the good times, but the bad times as well. And you have to have a certain amount of resilience and you have to have people that you lean on a lot. And there's some people that I've leaned on more than others over these last 10 years. But yeah, I think setting them standards was probably the biggest thing for me as a club when I came in. The willingness to go and win, that mentality to kind of fight to the end and play a certain way and really believe in that process is something that really stands out with us. And I like to probably take in whatever I do next is like, no matter what we do it at a high level and we do it with respect and we do it with honesty and we remain humble as well. Let's
go right back to the start. You've mentioned it there. We've talked about it before. Not the easiest first few months.
No, it wasn't.
I suppose at the time you weren't even thinking about being here for 10 years, being the captain, leading to all these major trophies, but it must be quite nice thinking back to how tough those first few months were to where we've got to now.
I think when I signed here at City, I think I've probably said this a lot in the past, I think I knew I was signing for a long term and the idea was always to kind of end my career here, so that's kind of a tick box there. we kind of stuck to the plan. And did I think it was going to be 10 years? Probably not, but at the same time I knew that we were working towards a project that would be to make a team that's going to win, to make a team be able to compete and to develop us as one of the most attractive clubs in Europe and in the Champions League. And them first 5-6 months were tough. I think there was only 5 or 6 of us that were fully professional. We were doing training in the morning, then we were waiting for the girls to finish work or university to meet us at night time to train. We didn't have the best of starts in terms of losing 4 in a row, but ultimately I think that was kind of what made us the team that we were in that season, was that we had to go through them bad patches. We had to kind of learn, and we were a young team and we were inexperienced. Nick was inexperienced as well, and I think we had to stick together first and foremost and kind of ride that bit out and know that if we kept working at that same level every single day that we would eventually come out with something and in 2014 to come out with the League Cup was unbelievable.
Absolutely. And then 2 years later, we're talking about a treble, winning the league, the FA, and and then the FA Cup in 2017, plus a first European campaign as well. I mean, that must have been such a special season.
Yeah, I always, even the other day, me and Demi were speaking about the 2016 season just because of how unbelievable we were and, in terms of the way that we played our football. But I think from a selfish defensive point of view, I think we only conceded 4 goals in the league, and that just doesn't come by luck. That comes from a lot of work on the training ground, and not just from us as defenders, but from the front three, the midfield three, and really having a belief in what we do and really honing down on them skills and knowing why we do certain things. But yeah, that 2016, to kind of see everything come together and to finally get our hands on a league title, to win the FA Cup, one of the first ones at Wembley, to win the Conti Cup again. I mean, yeah, they're memories that'll last forever. And I think that group was really special because that was 3 years in the making. We'd kind of been through that process where, say, the likes of me, Jill, Tony Duggan, Izzy Christensen, KB had been there from the start, and the next group come in the second year, the likes of Demi, Jennifer Beattie, Lucy Bronze, and we kept on adding quality as we went. And I mean, the parties weren't bad after either, but I mean, the trophy lifts were really special.
Yeah, rightly so, the parties were good. Yeah. I think it was only 1 goal from open play as well.
Yeah, I think, and some of them penalties weren't penalties. I'm adamant they weren't, so yeah.
Always looking for the next one. I suppose more generally, it must be really nice for you and for other players, like you mentioned Demi there, who's still here as well, sort of watching teams consistently develop and also players develop over time. It must be something that's a real pleasure for you to see.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what this club is. It's really special in that sense, is that they allow to give players opportunities. It's not about coming in here and being amazing from the start and being a starter and getting 20, 25 goals a season. It just doesn't happen like that, and football isn't like that. And I think we've been really great with young players. I mean, you look at the likes of Georgia Stanway, Kira Walsh, that were here previously, and they coming into our change room at the age of 16 and never played first team football, but to see how much they've developed, not only here but also on the international stage, it's pretty special that we've kind of nurtured them through, and that's the same process now. Obviously every team evolves, and we have to get young players through as much as we possibly can. And I mean, there's no better environment now with the players that we have to learn off, and not only players but people as well. I think football isn't just about what you do on the pitch. It's majority of it's what you do off the pitch and how you prepare yourself and how you recover, but also that mentality where not everything goes okay all the time. And I've experienced that a lot over my career. I think we always speak about the good things, but I think a lot of the stuff, whether it's injuries or setbacks or missing out on certain tournaments, I think that builds you and your character. And I will never have them regrets of them happening, because I think it does make you a robust player and a robust person. And these young players are in the right place, in my opinion, to develop and to be part of something special.
Focusing back on the pitch, obviously potentially a really successful end to this season. How special does this current squad feel compared to some of the others that you've been a part of? No,
I think that's what probably makes us a little bit sad, to be able to kind of go, yeah, I'm not playing anymore, because this group of girls are special. I think we've worked so hard to kind of form this squad. We've tried to add stability, and for me, we've got some great players that are dominating on a world stage, never mind in the WSL, and we've got young players that can potentially go and do something special and be the best players in the world if they really wanted to be. And this group's focused. I think that's probably my thing. I think we know what we have to do. But also, as a team and the togetherness of the team, I've never, maybe apart from the 2016 group and maybe 2019, this group has got something special. And I think, for me, I think it's been amazing to work with them and see the likes of Kiara come through. And I can remember saying to her the first day of pre-season, I was like, you need a really good pre-season, Key, because I was like, you've got the potential to be unbelievable if you want it to be. And we all know what Kiara's like in terms of personality, but I don't want her to lose that, because that's what makes her who she is. And we've got people like Kiara, you've obviously got Alex, who's been unbelievable for us these last 3 or 4 seasons. You've got the likes of Jill Rod that have come in and added so much more quality. And I mean, and it's not just my teammates and my mates as well. So it's like, they are special, and that would be perfect if we could do something special at the end of the season. And I've actually got all the hope and they've got all my support to be able to go and do something special.
Absolutely. I know players don't like looking at the long term. It's all about the next game. But to finish potentially with a second WSL title would just be phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, it would. I mean, I think ultimately you kind of want to drop the mic and lift the trophy and whatever, but there's still 6 games to go, and we know that, and this WSL is so tight and we've got to perform. And for me, like, that's my focus now, is to do whatever I can to ensure that I know that once I do stop playing, that I've given everything in terms of commitment, and I've given everything of me to other people to support them in whatever way they do. And ideally that'll be the best scenario, but there's still a long way to go.
Yeah, we'll see. It might be quite a deep question, but what sort of legacy do you hope you're going to be able to leave behind for the next generation of players coming through, and the current squad as well, to be fair?
It's a tough one, because I think the journey that I've been on in terms of women's football, I've been able to experience when we didn't have any facilities, we didn't have kit, we trained once a week, you would train until basically there was no light or whatever. So I've been fortunate enough to see where the game's gone, and my legacy would probably to know that I've kind of left it in a better place, and I've challenged and I've put up a fight for us to, as women, not just as footballers, but as women, to be given that same opportunity to kind of have every opportunity that every other male player gets. And if I know that I've left this game in a better place, then for me, I know I've done half of my job. And as a person, I always think like you can always give some of yourself to somebody else, and I think that's what one of my strengths is that no matter what situation I am personally, I think you can always add value to somebody else. And as a player, just being able to know that no matter what, if you commit and you dedicate and you do the extras, that you can go and do something special. And that's kind of what I've kind of had that mantra in my career, is like, just no matter what, we go for it, and we go for it 100%.
Absolutely. And just finally, do you have a message for the fans who have obviously been there with you every step of the way? No,
they've been amazing, to be honest. I think they know how much I love them, and not only just from the last few years, but from the 2014, especially here at City, but generally throughout my career, for not just City and for England. I think you always hear them. I always love it when they sing Super Steph, and that's always like a special feeling. And yeah, I know that they pay a lot of money to come and watch us play and travel down the likes of Brighton or to Arsenal, Chelsea the same time in a week. And yeah, I mean, for me, they've been amazing, and just to say thank you, and just to say keep getting behind the team, because this is a really special team. Yeah.
Well, Steph, I'm sure I speak for everybody when I say, firstly, thank you. Secondly, congratulations. Thirdly, good luck. And just to know that you're an absolute legend, not just at this club, but in football generally. And anything you do, know you're going to absolutely smash it. So best of luck with everything. There'll always be a place for you at City.
Oh, thanks, George. Thank you.